It is 8:02. I'm a couple of minutes late. My apologies. How are you? Happy Saturday. It is Coffee Talk. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. We get together 7 days a week to chat about what's going on in the world of weather, chat about life, get your day started off hopefully on the right note. And yeah, we've got a lot going on. The top two things that we are monitoring this morning. We start off with a look at your weekend forecast. We're going to be tracking the barbecues, the beaches, the pools, the events. We've got you covered every step of the way. Plus, oh my goodness, we are not only tracking the tropics, but we are tracking the tropics. There's already a tropical storm out in the Pacific Basin, but interestingly enough, it has our attention, which is not normal. Doesn't happen often, but there is situations where we track the Pacific as well. Yeah, we're going to talk about it all coming up in just a couple of minutes. But first, let us take a live look outside on our Tower Cam network. There's a shot for our tourist district friends. It is lovely out the door this morning as we look out that direction. Let's head to downtown Orlando. I think that this gives you a bit of a better perspective. We're seeing kind of clearing conditions across town. Not too bad. Just watching that layer of clouds moving on out. There's a better shot. That's from our Wesh 2 Studios Tower Cam. The layer of clouds is definitely with us. Downtown Orlando not looking bad. Let's head over toward the coastline. The Vehicle Assembly Building over at the Kennedy Space Center, not too bad. Melbourne, a little blurry. Cocoa, not too bad either. Temperature-wise, let's get you right out the door here on a Saturday morning. It is warm. It is muggy. We're sitting at 77 degrees in Orlando, 75 in Leesburg, 73 in the Villages, 74 outside in Daytona Beach, 76 in Titusville, Melbourne, and Palm Bay. Not really watching much in the way of fog, except in Ocala. That's where we're watching those visibilities down to about 3/4 of a mile. First warning, live Doppler radar. Let me just put this into motion. Right-hand side of your screen, we've been watching these storms off the shoreline, but there's some new stuff developing over here near Tampa. Some good soaking downpours. Those downpours are kind of going to continue to fire up over I-4 and then work along I-4. Wider perspective showing we still have a cold front in the vicinity, and it is that pesky cold front that is just helping to fire up the rainfall. So where do we go from here? Well, today, here's what we're looking at in terms of temperatures. 82 degrees, 11 o'clock, 84 degrees by 1 o'clock, and about 90 for our daytime high. Not bad at all. That said, notice around 12, 1, 2 o'clock, we're really going to be starting to develop those showers and those thunder showers. It's going to be an earlier start to the rains today, but an earlier start also means an earlier finish. So that's not the worst thing in the world, right? Not too bad. Here's a look at temperatures around town today. Lower 90s for the interior. It is mid to upper 80s back over to the area beaches. Let's take a look at Futurecast. 10 o'clock this morning, already a little bit of rain. About 12, 1 o'clock or so, seeing those showers kind of continuing. Notice 3, 4, 5 o'clock though, it all moves off toward the east. All right, heavy downpours up and down I-95. Then kind of maybe seeing a little resurgence back into the metro by about 7, 8 o'clock, and then clearing on out from there. So yeah, a lot of events going on if you're heading to the area attractions. Let's just take a look. Where is that graphic? Epcot, for example. I was like, I know I made a graphic. So Epcot, not looking bad. Temperatures kind of climbing to about 90 degrees or so. Then those showers and those thunder showers really do get going. If you're wanting to do what I'm planning on doing, which is head into the backyard swimming pool, it's looking great. It really is. Except for the showers and storms, which is why I've officially categorized it as a good day, because of the showers and the thunder showers. Now, we are in the midst of Memorial Day weekend today and tomorrow, rain coverage at about 50%. I think by Monday, rain coverage does increase just a little bit. So keep that in mind. I don't know, by the way, if Facebook is being a putz or not, but I'm seeing some comments, but not a ton. So yeah. Tracy's asking, so we're going to get rained on tonight at the concert. I I actually think that things are trending in the right direction if you're heading to the Paul McCartney concert. Here's the forecast for it, all right? Showers and storms are definitely be around, but by the time we get to concert, I actually think that we're going to have all the rains off to the east. So, works for me. I think you may be okay. Bruce, good morning to you. Denise says, like the new glasses. Thank you, Denise. It's definitely taking some getting used to. I keep seeing myself in the reflection. I'm like, well, that's weird. I only wore the old frames for like 5 years. That's all, you know. Just have to get used to it. So, I'll have to get used to this. I do have another pair of frames. They're clear, and they're a little more like my old frames. So I'll switch off. I'll do like a week on each frame, something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The image consultant wanted me to have new frames. So I like them. I think that they're cool. I just have to get used to them. All right, so that's Paul McCartney. Yeah. You ready for the tropics? Shall we do this? Ay vey, I can't believe we're doing this. All right, to the tropics we go. Tropical storm Agatha out there in the Pacific Basin. All right? Tropical storm Agatha in the Pacific Basin. There it is. It's firing up. It was named a depression last night. It was upgraded to tropical storm this morning with winds of 40 miles an hour. And it got stronger since. The winds are now up to 45 miles an hour, okay? It's a tropical storm. The Pacific hurricane season does begin May 15th, so they're into hurricane season. But what's interesting, every couple of years or so, we watch something tropical move from the Pacific to the Atlantic. Now, the way that the rules are, if it holds together, it would keep its name. If it loses its surface circulation and then reforms, it would get a new name. So the last time that something like this happened, let's just go back in time. The last time we had a crossover in almost the same spot was Tropical Storm Amanda back in 2020, moved ashore, faded, but it's like mid and upper level circulation survived. And then as soon as it made it into the Gulf of Mexico, it formed into Tropical Storm Cristobal, and we know where Cristobal went. Yeah, so it got a new name. If it were to hold its own, it would keep the same name. But this does happen, you know, from time to time. Denise liked the new glasses. Thank you, thank you. Beth says it is time. Yeah, Michael says glasses are good. They look like something the old NASA guys would wear. And I guess I like that. Like, I am a nerd after all. So we do see this little crossover happen. And what's interesting is, before we even get there, here's a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. The Hurricane Center, by the way, does issue these forecast cones for the Atlantic and the Pacific. This is the forecast cone. It's not only expected to become a hurricane, but could become a Category 2 hurricane. Yeah, this weekend it kind of hangs out in that spot, which has obviously got enough spin, enough vorticity. It's got that energy. Kind of makes a hard right turn and then gets right to land by like Monday and Tuesday. So we are going to be talking about this over the next couple of days because, yes, there is the potential that this does become an Atlantic system. Makes its way ashore Monday into Tuesday. And then like Wednesday into Thursday, it could move into the southern Gulf of Mexico. Okay? So here's a look at it on satellite imagery right now. And you can very clearly see that bubbling of convection. But looking ahead, the Hurricane Center, as of the 8 o'clock tropical weather outlook, they have now outlined the Bay of Campeche as having a 20% likelihood of seeing tropical development in that area over the next 5 days' time. Nothing quick, but as Agatha lifts to Mexico and then reemerges out over the Bay of Campeche, that is something of a possibility. All right, interesting stuff. Daniel says all of the storms from the Gulf yesterday emptied before they came ashore. That super hot mud around the Big Bend really affects the science of the system. Well, it lost its upper level support as well, and this time of year, you're just not going to get fronts making it all the way down. So, Yeah. I mean, we had plenty of storms around yesterday, although it like only sprinkled at my house. So while we don't have anything in the Atlantic Basin firing up, this is going to be an interesting little thing to watch. Shall we talk about the raw models? Give me 2 seconds here. Let me just get this configured. Sign in to you. I'm logging into my raw computer model stuff. Let's look at the GFS. Pressure anomaly, oceanic, Caribbean. Okay, all right. So here we are. This is the raw GFS data. Okay, I show this during hurricane season all the time. What you're looking at, top left corner, GFS quarter degree, initialized 6Z. So this is the most recent run of the GFS model. Mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly. Blues are lonely lows. Oranges are happy highs. So in other words, stormy weather is the blues and the purples and the greens. Nice high pressure dry air is going to be the kind of yellows and oranges, all right? All right, so follow through time. Let's just do this. Let's bring up that screen. You can see right where it says Leesburg, there's Agatha coming ashore. That's Monday. That's 18Z, which translates to 2 p.m. Coming ashore, okay? And then the GFS wants to fire up another area of low pressure in the Caribbean from Agatha. And I want to be very clear, I don't know that I believe this. The GFS has been beyond terrible here this year with trying to do weird stuff. So let's follow this through. But everything that I have seen has indicated that the GFS is a little out to lunch. Yukon says, and there's only 62 viewers. Wonder if I'm on the right page. I think Facebook's messed up today, if I'm honest, because I'm not seeing, like, the viewership is way down. You know, maybe people don't like my new glasses. I can understand that. But yeah, I think, and I had to re-log into Facebook, so I don't know for sure. You know, maybe there's an issue on the Facebook side. So I apologize if you're watching this late and you're struggling to get in. But we'll roll through anyway. I can't make Facebook's problems my problems. All right, so this is June 2nd. The GFS wanting to do something feisty, bring something feisty across the Caribbean into the Bahamas. But that's almost like a Mickey Mouse thing. Like you've got a low over Florida, you've got a low out over the Atlantic, and another low in the Bahamas. I don't know. I don't know if I buy it, but we'll roll with the GFS just to roll with it. And then after that, high pressure kind of builds in. All right, so that's the GFS. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's switch over to the European model. All right, so here's the European model. Oh my gosh, stop it. Top left corner, ECMWF, European Center for Meteorological Weather Forecasting, 0.1 degree resolution. Initialized 6Z, mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly. Blah, 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 blah. We're doing our thing. Now again, this is kind of the in-between run, so it only goes out 90 hours, but you could see there where it says Daytona Beach, there's Agatha making landfall. All right, let's switch to from the 6Z to the 0Z because that goes out further on the European. And right there you can kind of see it's re-emerging that moisture into the Gulf of Mexico. I want to point out that this is absolutely what the Hurricane Center is calling for, because if you look at their outlook, they highlighted the southern Gulf of Mexico as being the area to watch, right? Okay, so to me, it looks like the Hurricane Center is leaning more on the European, which I would as well. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than they are or even as smart as they are, but I'm doing the best I can. Nikki, have a great day. Good to see you. Champagne, good morning to you. Nancy, good morning. Phyllis says, I have a cousin, Agatha. Hopefully your cousin Agatha's nice people. All right, so that's the European. When is that? That is June the 2nd. We'll continue through time. June the 2nd. Hanging out June the 5th, June the 6th, and then lifting up to the north June the 7th. Okay? We'll see where this ends up going. I definitely would lean more European than GFS at this point. Yeah, the information that I am seeing does not make me like to believe the GFS at all. It's just bad. All right, let's look at the ensembles. The ensembles give us more. Think of it as, you know, I know that it's always confusing, but think of the ensembles like this. It's just 51 flavors of Baskin-Robbins. It's different versions of the same model. So let's do this. We'll put them all together and let's just look at the low locations. All right. Oh my gosh, get out of here. All right. So this is the GFS ensemble showing those lows in the Gulf of Mexico. And you can kind of see it's trying to sniff out stuff in the Gulf, kind of working up toward the north and the east. All right? We'll see how that all plays out. Let's back this up and let's look at the European ensembles. Again, the ensembles are just different versions of the model that let us see more than just one version. Like if the European changes its dynamics little by little, kind of bubbling up stuff and heading it toward Florida. Now, what's interesting there is that the European ensemble leans a little more in the direction of the GFS than anything. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, there's plenty of time to watch it. So at the end of the day, we've got stuff to look at, right? We've got stuff to look at. But what we do know, if there's anything to look at, what we do know is this. The National Hurricane Center has circled the southernmost Gulf of Mexico area, the Bay of Campeche, and has said, over the next couple of days, this is going to be an area to watch. All right? Victoria says, bad GFS. I know, right? I know. Betty says, the computers are only as good as the programmers. I would agree with that. This most recent update on the GFS just doesn't seem that way. Yeah. Yeah. Denise, is it unusual we get a storm system beginning that far west? It doesn't happen often coming from the Pacific to the Atlantic, but it has, yeah. Could this tropical storm strengthen into a hurricane because it's been extremely hot this year, Willie's asking. Well, the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center does have this becoming a hurricane. There's the official forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center, yeah. Category 2 hurricane, they're forecasting in the Pacific Basin, then crossing over Mexico. Now, afterward, you know, the models are not in agreement. If we look at, you know, kind of the two of them side by side, both the GFS and the American and the European bring it into Mexico, whereas the GFS reforms a center in the Caribbean, the European kind of doesn't, okay? Keeps its core together. The GFS brings something out toward the Bahamas, you can see on the right side of your screen there, whereas the European has that area of low pressure kind of hugging the Yucatan Peninsula. And then afterward, if you look at 8 a.m. Tuesday, June 7th, the models are in completely different camps. The GFS already has it way out to sea. The European still has it over the Gulf of Mexico. This does, I think, fit into the LRC cycle for a storm system. If we look at the LRC calendar here, I think that this fits into the November 27th part of the cycle. Now, it'll be interesting to see where it goes, but the timing on this lines up to Texas and Louisiana, so we'll have to see what ends up happening, you know, where this ends up going, but it does kind of fit that timeline, at least, of watching Texas and Louisiana. Now, the models are not hinting at that, but again, computer models are guidance, not gospel, just like the long-range forecast is guidance, not gospel. So we'll watch and see how it all plays in to see how far out are we? Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Somebody's coming to say hi. Who's there? What do you want?
Hello. Where am I looking? Oh, I never know where I'm looking.
There's two, yeah, there's two webcams here.
Hi, everybody.
I'll scoot there.
Happy Saturday.
Christina Watkins, everybody.
Hello.
You have any good plans for this weekend? Here, take a seat. Take a seat. If we have a few seconds.
Jessica, I gotta do this. Let me. Oh, my knees.
Take a seat. We have seats.
We do have seats.
Okay.
Not much. Sleeping, relaxing, taking it easy.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
I love
chilling
that.
with the dogs. You know how that goes.
Say no more, fam.
You know how
I
that
love that. We're going to do the swimming pool today.
That'll be good.
I've got a friend, he works at WPBF, our sister station in West Palm. He and his family are up there going to Paul McCartney tonight.
Nice.
So they're making a stopover at our backyard. I'm going to grill.
What you grilling?
I think burgers and hot dogs.
That's what we had at my parents' house. I may go, you know what? I may go hang out with my parents
There it
again
is.
tomorrow.
Hometown girl,
Yes.
back in town.
Yes.
I love it.
So grateful.
And I always say, like, you and I grew up this far apart from each other.
Legit.
That's what's so funny.
Right around the corner, and I'm sure we pass each other at the grocery
We
store.
had to.
I know we did.
We had to. We went to the same. What's so funny though is we lived on the dividing line in
Yeah.
schools. So you went to the schools out west, and I went to school, I guess, out east, right?
Oviedo.
And I went to Lake Howell.
Go Lions.
Go Silverhawk. Hey, it's okay. It's
My
okay.
best friend went to Lake Howell.
And
so
I have
it's
plenty of
okay.
friends. The last high school campus I was on was Oviedo High School, though. I announced a marching band. I announced the
How'd you
Oviedo.
know?
I announced the Oviedo High School marching band competition.
Really?
Yeah, I'll do. If they'll have me, I'll do it again this year.
That's that velvet voice.
Ha
Like butter.
You're too funny. You're too
All
funny.
right, y'all. Just wanted to say hi.
Ah,
Y'all be safe this weekend.
yeah, right.
Yeah, please,
And
be
remember, you said it in the newscast this morning. Remember what it is. I know it's like the unofficial start to summer, and that's
Yeah.
fun. But like, take at least a minute and reflect on those that gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah. Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock is actually supposed to be the National Minute
Okay.
of Silence,
Yeah.
where we do honor those fallen veterans who died and paid the ultimate sacrifice
Right.
for us.
Okay.
So take that moment, stop what you're doing, remember the true purpose for Memorial
Yes.
Day.
Yeah.
But, still be safe.
Yeah, and have fun because
Yeah.
they gave their lives so that you could have fun. So, absolutely. Okay.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you on TV in a couple of minutes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
2 minutes. All right. So that all said, let's just very briefly, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Although, like, you don't really need to see the 7-day forecast to know where it's headed, right? Showers and thunder showers every day. Again, today we start things off just a little early in the day, so around lunchtime or so, and then kind of get those storms continuing through dinner time or so. All right? Jessica says, I'm going to start to keep track of how many times Eric says Campeche every day. Hey, if there's a storm out there, I'm going to say it. Goober. Ay. Everybody's talking. Everybody says hello, good morning. Carolyn says, good morning, lovely lady.
Hello.
She says hello. Everybody. There's everybody saying good. Jessica says you lived in Eastbrook, huh? No, but not far from Eastbrook. No, I went to Redbug Elementary. She went to Stenstrom. Literally, we were like right on the line. So, kind of funny. Anyway, all right. That's all I got, people. I got to go do TV now. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I'm going to post kind of a TLDR tropics deal a little bit later on this morning. And I think I'm going to try and start doing that just so that everybody's on the same page, okay? All right, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Have a great Saturday. I will see you through the day as is needed on the Twitter sphere and the Facebook sphere and all that other spheres.